Welcome to our in-depth review of Oasis Security and the rapidly emerging discipline of non-human identity management. If you are grappling with service accounts, API keys, machine identities, and automated workloads across multi-cloud environments, this walkthrough is designed to give you a clear, practical understanding of how Oasis approaches the problem, how it uses AI, and what outcomes you can expect. Let's start with the challenge. In modern organizations, non-human identities now outnumber human users. These include cloud service accounts in AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, Kubernetes service accounts, CI and CD bots, infrastructure as code tools, serverless functions, and application tokens used by microservices. They are essential to automation and speed, yet they are often created programmatically, left untracked, overprivileged, or never rotated. The result is secret sprawl, orphaned accounts, and a wide attack surface that traditional identity and access management tools designed for people struggle to see and control. Oasis Security focuses exclusively on non-human identity management and positions itself as an enterprise-grade platform purpose-built to secure the entire lifecycle of these identities. That lifecycle spans discovery, classification, permission analysis, risk scoring, continuous monitoring, automated rotation, access governance, and response. By narrowing its scope to non-human entities, Oasis aims to provide depth where general-purpose IAM, IGA, PAM, and secrets management solutions leave gaps. How does Oasis discover non-human identities? The platform connects to your environments using API-based connectors and lightweight collectors. It inventories AWS IAM users and roles associated with workloads, Azure AD app registrations and managed identities, GCP service accounts and keys, Kubernetes service accounts and role bindings, and identities embedded in CI and CD tools such as GitHub Actions, GitLab CI, Jenkins, and Bitbucket. It can also ingest metadata from HashiCorp Vault, AWS Secrets Manager, Azure Key Vault, and Google Secret Manager to map secrets and tokens to the workloads that use them. This creates a unified catalog linking each identity to its owner, application environment, permissions, last use timestamps, and rotation policy. Does Oasis use AI, and how? Oasis applies machine learning and graph analytics to correlate identities, permissions, and behavior. It learns typical usage patterns, such as which regions or services a service account normally calls, the expected frequency of API invocations, and the repositories or pipelines that provision each identity. When behavior deviates from the baseline, Oasis flags anomalies. Examples include a token invoked from an unexpected geography, a role suddenly requesting broader privileges, or a dormant key becoming active after a long period. AI also supports recommendation engines that propose least privilege policies, suggest secrets rotation intervals based on exposure, and rank remediation actions by risk reduction. A common question is how Oasis fits alongside existing tools. Think of it as complementary. Identity governance platforms like SailPoint and Savient excel at human lifecycle management. PAM platforms such as CyberArk manage privileged human sessions and some application credentials. Secrets managers like HashiCorp Vault and cloud-native key vaults securely store and issue secrets. Oasis does not replace those systems. Instead, it sits across them to provide end-to-end visibility, policy, and control, specifically for non-human identities, mapping where they live, how they are used, who owns them, and what risk they pose. It can push or orchestrate changes through those underlying systems to rotate a key, tighten a role, or retire an orphaned account. Risk management is central to the platform. Oasis calculates risk scores based on privilege level, blast radius, exposure age, rotation hygiene, usage anomalies, and business criticality. A service account with administrator-level rights that has not rotated its key for 180 days and is used by a sensitive workload would rank high. This prioritization helps teams move beyond spreadsheets and address the most consequential issues first. Policy as code allows security teams to define guardrails, such as maximum token age, mandatory rotation schedules, environment-specific access scopes, and tagging requirements for ownership and purpose. On the remediation front, Oasis provides automated and assisted workflows. Automated actions include revoking stale tokens, rotating keys through native secret managers, or removing unused role bindings in Kubernetes, all aligned with change controls. Assisted workflows integrate with ITSM and DevOps tools like ServiceNow, Jira, and GitHub to open issues with precise context, the identity involved, affected workloads, suggested fix, and the owner accountable. This creates an auditable loop from detection to resolution with measurable service-level objectives. Detection and response extend beyond configuration hygiene. Oasis consumes activity logs, such as AWS CloudTrail, Azure Activity Logs, GCP audit logs, and Kubernetes audit events to provide continuous monitoring. Integration with SIEM platforms including Splunk, Microsoft Sentinel, and Google Chronicle lets organizations enrich security operations with non-human identity context. When an incident arises, responders can rapidly answer critical questions. What permissions does this service account have? Which secrets are associated with it? Which systems did it access in the last 24 hours? Who owns it, and how do we rotate or revoke it safely? Compliance teams also benefit. Oasis maintains detailed lineage of non-human identities, including creation source, approval metadata, permission history, rotation and expiration records, and associated controls. This evidence streamlines audits for SOC 2, ISO 27001, PCI DSS, HIPAA, and NIST frameworks. Reports can be segmented by business unit, cloud, environment, or application to support scoped attestations and executive reporting. A question we often hear is how disruptive deployment is. Oasis is typically delivered as a SaaS platform with API-based connectors and optional agents where necessary. Read-only permissions are used for discovery, and elevated rights are scoped to specific automated remediation workflows with fine-grained approvals. The architecture avoids inline proxies that add latency. Instead, it leverages native cloud and platform APIs for speed and reliability. For sensitive or regulated environments, customers can restrict data egress and use tokenization or fold-level redaction. Who should consider Oasis? Organizations with large multi-cloud footprints, microservices architectures, or heavy CI and CD automation will see strong returns. Sectors like financial services, healthcare, software, retail, and critical infrastructure often experience the highest density of non-human identities. Teams including cloud platform engineering, DevSecOps, identity governance, and security operations will each find domain-specific dashboards and KPIs to run their programs. How do you measure success? Practical metrics include reduction in overprivileged service accounts, percentage of identities with defined owners and rotation policies, mean time to rotate or revoke compromised credentials, age distribution of secrets, coverage of least privilege baselines, and time to remediate audit findings. Over time, organizations should see fewer incidents tied to misconfigured or orphaned machine identities and faster response to credential exposure events. Finally, let's touch on the competitive landscape. Alternatives and adjacent tools include cloud-native IAM capabilities, secrets managers, certificate and machine identity tools, and broader CNAPP platforms. What differentiates Oasis is its end-to-end focus on the full lifecycle of non-human identities, correlating discovery, behavior, policy, and remediation across heterogeneous environments, without replacing the underlying systems you already rely on. In summary, Oasis Security brings automation, continuous monitoring, and AI-driven analytics to a fast-growing risk area that conventional user-centric identity tools do not fully address. If your organization is scaling automation and cloud-native development, evaluating a purpose-built non-human identity management platform like Oasis can significantly improve security posture, audit readiness, and operational efficiency.